Most people think about the word unconscious when somebody falls out or literally drops down because they become unconscious because of something traumatic or some form of trauma that caused them to literally lose consciousness. But for most of us, we don't realize that we are unconscious ourselves. We live in a realm of unconsciousness for long periods of time until somebody literally emotionally slaps us into reality. We're like, oh my God, you know what? I'm depressed because I didn't realize this about myself. Or, oh my God, I didn't know, I wasn't aware of that. The realm of unconsciousness is what and where most of us dwell. It's just a reality. Our reality is that we are not consciously aware of most of our actions. We're not consciously aware of most of our thoughts, and we're not consciously aware of the things that we say. For most of us are like automatic. We're on automatic rewind, and we just go back to the things we know, or we repeat the things that we've learned or heard. But most of us are not consciously aware to the point where we put thought into our actions, our words, and our deeds. One of the most important gifts you can give yourself is the gift of becoming consciously aware. What does that mean to become consciously aware? It means that not only are you in tune with your thoughts, your actions, your words, and your deeds, you're also in tune with everything else around you. You're in tune with other person's thoughts, what their thoughts mean, what their words mean, what their actions mean. And then it takes the whole aspect of being personal out of the engagement. For most of us who are engaging with people and we take things personally, is because we're not aware of anything other than our own framework of thought. We're only aware of the things that we think, we feel, and pretty much that's it. That's where we stay. But most of us do not dare venture out from that realm of unconsciousness and go into the realm of consciousness. When we start talking about the realm of consciousness, we talk about things like enlightenment. We talk about things such as self-actualization. Most people do not engage in self-actualization. They don't even work towards it. I would propose to say that many people have died and left this realm without even the notion of wanting to or even interested in self-actualizing. Self-actualization is something that I have always been interested in. Self-actualization is something that I work towards. It does not mean that I'm a great person or I'm perfect. Like, remember, in most of my videos, I give this disclaimer. I am far from perfect. I am one of the most imperfect beings, but I'm struggling and striving towards learning, towards growth. Growth is perfection. Growth is perfection in the making. So based on that notion of growth, being consciously aware and being aware of your thoughts, your words, your actions, and deeds is necessary because it changes. It's a game changer. If you become consciously aware, then it makes it less likely that you will engage in arguments, that needless arguments or nonsensical arguments. You will engage in things that are fruitful, things that will promote not only your growth, but the person who you're engaging with. As a teacher, as someone who likes to teach others, I realize that the value of listening is important. You can't listen if you don't know how to be consciously aware. Being consciously aware allows you the ability to listen to others, allows you the ability to put your thoughts on pause and process somebody else's thoughts so that you can make sense of the conversation or make sense of the relationship or what that person is trying to tell you. If you truly want to become conscious, if you truly want to become consciously aware, then you have to strive towards that. It's something that requires effort. You have to actually put in the time. You actually have to meet the universe halfway. The universe is full of a wealth of knowledge, is full of a wealth of, divine inspiration, and it wants to give that to us, to those of us who want to tap into it. For many of us, we don't really care. All we care about is day-to-day existence, thinking that this world is all there is. This is not the only realm that exists. There are other realms outside of this realm. Because we're familiar with this realm, that's where we spend most of our time. The unconscious realm is also where we spend most of our time. Tapping into your mind, understanding the thoughts that are in your mind, and allowing those thoughts to have adequate processing without allowing those thoughts to take you over. How many of you realize that most of the criminal activity is because those criminals engage in thoughts, and thoughts that they give power to, because they don't think about anything else. All they think about is the thoughts that manifest, the behavior that they have always performed. They don't see anything outside of that until somebody stops them in their track and say, hey, You don't have to do this. You don't have to go this route. There are alternatives to this behavior. Behavior is something that manifests out of thoughts. And I say it again, like my favorite author, James Allen, says, thoughts equals actions. Actions equals habits. Habits equals circumstance. In order to alter your circumstance, in order to alter your behavior, in order to alter your emotional output or lack thereof, you have to start by changing how you think. And how you think means that the circumstance is going to have a different outcome. But before you can even alter your thoughts, you need to be able to spend time with your thoughts. You need to be in a place where you can become consciously aware of what's coming in, what you're filtering day and out. There are times that I sit still, and honestly, a thought will come to me, and I will say to myself, where the heck did that thought come from? I wasn't thinking about that person, or I wasn't thinking about that thing, or I had no interest or inclination towards where the thought came from, but the thought came from somewhere in my subconscious. Somewhere it was there floating around, and it just came to the surface, and it was forcing me to deal with it. And because I recognized that I had done enough work to realize that I was in control of my thoughts, I did not let that thought filter through. I did not give that thought any kind of credence or give it any value. I stopped the thought where the thought tried to take me over. That's what conscious awareness is. Conscious awareness is about you being aware at all times about what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and what actions you're performing and why you're performing those actions. Is it a cakewalk or a walk in the park? No, it's not. It is a process. It's a process that requires us to show up. It's a process that requires us to practice. You know, there's a term that says with constant use. So you have to constantly use this process in order to become better at it. That's what perfection is. Perfection is constantly doing something and constantly becoming better at that thing because you're actually using it in your day-to-day existence. There's more out here than meets the mind. There's more out here than you believe. Your life and the way you're living your life is only one way. There's other things and other aspects of living that you may not have considered. When you become consciously aware, what happens is that you broaden your perspective, you broaden your thought process, you broaden your ability to understand, and you broaden your ability to communicate more effectively. It is a string of events that are all correlated. The correlation results in a genuine way of existing without suffering. Most of us suffer as a society and most of us suffer as individuals because we refuse to realize that it's not about us. It has never been about us. It is always about something else. Whatever you're going through right now is not about what you're going through, even though it feels horrible, even though it feels like that is happening to you, and it feels like nothing else is going to matter, that this is the end, and this is your be all and end all, and you hold on to the pain. It is still not about you. Your pain is to share with someone else. Your glory, how you come out of that pain, how you supersede the events that affected you in your life, those are all things that you can share with other people. Life is not complicated. Life is a series of events and a series of historical events strung together that make us stronger as people and stronger as individuals and as a world. In order for us to understand that process, we need to disengage from the thoughts in the unconscious realm that limit us from coming into the conscious realm. If you take a step with me and we take a step together, we both can accomplish this thing. Let us strive today to become more consciously aware. Let us become aware of our thoughts. Let us become aware of our actions and how those actions will impact someone else or the impact of those actions, period, long term. Let us think about our words and the power of our words and how our words will also affect others and affect ourselves. Remember, there's so many universal laws in place, and one of those laws is a law of cause and effect. Whatever you do will surely be done. So I stopped a long time ago when I realized that universal law. I was like, wait a minute, so you're telling me that the seeds I sow will all germinate? I went through that whole process of reaping a harvest that I had sown, and it wasn't even a harvest that I could eat from or a harvest that I wanted. So at some point I decided I'm no longer going to sow seeds that will bring me any yield that I do not want a part of. So I started sowing seeds that will yield and bring forth fruit, and seeds that will benefit me and help me on this process of growth. I hope that you make a choice today to become consciously aware. Remember, there are two different types of realm within this realm. There's a conscious realm where you are consciously choosing to show up and participate. And then there's the unconscious realm where you show up and participate without any consciousness whatsoever. Join me on this road towards growth and towards becoming a better self. My name is Ingrid Felton. Thank you as always for joining me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell others about what I'm doing here as always. Comment on the videos, like the videos. Also share with your friends if you find any value in what I'm saying. I hope there is some value. And remember, sharing is caring, so let's pass this on. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.